looking for positivity, more looking for encouragement. Temia Brinson aims to educate you, to give you the push to believe, to have the mindset for success. Mindset for success. To have the mindset for success. To have the mindset for success.
Welcome to the Mindset for TV show. I'm Temia Brinson, your host. And today we have a special guest. We have Coach Chad with us, Chad McKendrick. He is a financial advisor. He has his own financial services company, and he's also a money coach. How you doing today, Chad?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. So we're continuing our series on shifting your mindset. We've been talking about that for a while, things that we need to do to shift our money mindset to get us out of like that broke mindset, right? That we can renew our mind. You know, the word of God says, renew your mind. And so we're trying to shift our mindset. We can get ourselves mentally to be financially successful. So, and we were talking about, Coach Chad, that the first thing you really need to do to get your mind together financially is to make a decision, right? What are the things, is this a challenge for you with your clients? You know, you don't have to, of course, point anyone out, but I just want to know, is this something you have to deal with some of your clients when they're trying to go after a particular financial goal, that you first have to get their mindset, right? Like they have to make a decision that they want to be successful financially.
Yeah, that's the first thing out. Before I start out with anyone doing a consultation, I always want to know what they're expecting and what decision have they made to make a change, because it all starts with a decision. Once you make the decision, then now we can work from there. Now, if you don't make a decision, you haven't decided. Decide is just like that side represent death. I mean, when you decide, that means you cut off all other options. This is it. It's like you say, pesticide, killing is death. Yes, side. You decide what you want to do. If you decide you want to not be broke anymore, well, I'm the person you need to talk to. You'll never be broke another day in your life if you work with me.
Amen. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. So once you make that decision, what involves or what entails leading them down the path and the road to saying yes, I'm going to make a decision. I want to be successful. I know you need to know your goals. You need to know like what you want to accomplish. But honestly, sometimes I struggle with that because I have one thing that I want to do when I know I need to continue to work on other things. So do you sit down and talk about options the person's taking, or focus on that one path? Because like I said before, I have in mind what to do, but then I need to do this.
Well, you have to, once you decide, then you got to have a roadmap of where you want to go. If you're going to, let's say you're going to Georgia from Orlando. If you're going to Georgia from Orlando, you got to get on the turnpike, and then you got to get on 75. You can't go 95 too. It don't work like that. So once you got your roadmap, you just follow your roadmap. The scripture said, write the vision, make it plain that he may run that readeth it. The vision, what the vision does is keep you corralled, keep your brain where it needs to go. It's just like when the scripture said the heart of the king is in the hand of God, and he turned it the way he chooses. What it's just like a river. A river, you don't control every molecule in the river. What you do is you make a river bank, and that bank directs that river in the direction it should go. Your brain is just like that river. It can go all over the place. So you have to have banks that it keeps you locked in so that you can go in the direction that you need to go. So that comes with education about finance. You got to have the education about finance. So that's the next step I do. Once you decide, then we have to find out the education about finances and find out where you are and where you want to go. Okay, where you are, where you want to go. Okay. Think of a GPS. GPS says, okay, this is where you are, where you want to go. Okay, you say, I want to go to Georgia. Say, okay, you take Turnpike 75. Now you say, well, I want to go over to 95. They're going to say rerouting. Rerouting is going to take you a little longer to get there, but we will reroute because you don't change the direction. You change your course. The GPS keeps you on point of where you want to go. That's what your vision does. Your vision keeps you on point of where you want to go. Did I kind of like answer it a little bit?
Yeah. And so do you have those conversations about increase in income depending on your goals? Because I don't know your clientele, but I am assuming that you work with all income levels. And
yes,
what if you have, right. So do you have, how does those conversations go when you're working the budget with them and they're trying to stay within their means, but it's goals that they want to achieve, but in reality, they just need more money. So how do those conversations go where you're trying to work with them on their careers or, opportunities or what have you, where it's suddenly like light bulb comes on and they realize, okay, well, I need more income so that I can get to this.
Well, I don't necessarily go by budget. I go by strategy. We want to flow our cash. If we're flowing our cash, when I'm flowing my cash, I don't have to worry about, okay, how much that's going to cost, how much that's going to cost. If I'm flowing my cash, I will run into a riverbank that I would have more cash, but I have to go according to my cash starting out, and I'm going to flow my cash toward my vision. Once I flow my cash toward my vision, now it might take me a longer time to get there, but I'm going to get there because I'm flowing my cash toward my vision. That might be $1. I might be saving $1. Well, if I'm saving $1, I'm trying to get to $1 million. That's going to take me 1,000,000 years to get there. So that tells me that, okay, if I'm saving $1, that means I want to get to 1,000,000. Well, I need to save a little bit more, then I'll get there a little faster. But it's saying that we are headed to Georgia. We are going to walk. We're going to ride a bicycle. We're going to drive a car, or we're going to fly a plane. We are going to Georgia. So now you got to decide of how fast you want to get to Georgia. So it's not my strategy of budget. All the budget does is tell you where you are. And all you're doing is you just staying right there. You're staying in Orlando the whole time. That's what most people are doing. They got a budget. And they just stand in Orlando the whole time. I'm going to Georgia one day. Let me cut this back and let me cut this back. I'm going to Georgia one day. Okay, Georgia never get. That's the way I was.
Right.
Budget. Your budget just tell you where you are. It ain't tell you where you're going.
Where you are.
Your budget says where you are. And this is where I am. And most people are just focusing on where they are. Okay, let me cut my cable bill. Let me cut the light bill. You can't cut your way to success. You have to have a direction.
Right.
Okay, you got to have a direction of where you're going. And even if that's $1 a month that you're saving, okay, we going. When I start saving, we going. We moving this car. But the budget, all the budget does is just tell you where you are. That's why I deal with a budget first for my client to see where they are. Yes, that budget gonna show them where they are. Okay,
right.
And I put my strategy on and say, okay, this is where we're going. Okay, you say this is where you want to go. Okay, this is how we're gonna get there. I just got off a consultation with one of my clients just a minute ago. She next year, June, she's leaving the job. Okay, all right. We started our cash flow flowing toward that destination. So come June, she'll be like, goodbye. We already know where we are. We know where we're going. We have been driving this car for a minute. And so now we're getting ready to get to our destination. We're getting ready to get to Georgia now. She's almost there. But it took her a little longer because she didn't have the right type of vehicle. She was on a bicycle. She wasn't in a car. She
Mm,
wasn't on a plane. She was in
okay.
a bicycle, but still, that bicycle still getting there. If if we just doing the
That
budget,
is
it's still
awesome.
right with
Yeah, it's like an inventory. So your budget's like an inventory to tell you where you're at, what you got in your wheelhouse. And then, but a financial advisor, you guys in the audience, that's why it's so important, like I said in the previous shows, to work with a financial advisor because they're your ally in getting you to where you go. And your inventory, your budget, that's like Coach Chad said, is, there's just an inventory where you at right now. But a financial advisor and a money coach like Coach Chad will put in strategies to help you go where you go. Okay. And so, Coach Chad, do you have how do you deal with people? Because I used to be like this, where I would rack up, especially in college. um, I call it keep up with the Joneses, right? And even though I wasn't so-called keeping up with the Joneses, I just wanted to live my life as a college student with no money. So, but I racked up a lot of debt. But going to adulthood, you still see some adults trying to keep a certain lifestyle, and then they want to keep up with their colleagues or what have you, and or family members, and rack up a whole bunch of debt. For example, I used last week going to Europe. Okay, they rack up a whole bunch of debt, $5,000 credit card, and just put the whole trip on the card. When you have what, five years of high interest, 25% interest, that you're making really bad decisions just to have a certain lifestyle outside of your means. So how would you deal with that? I mean, so to speak, I'm asking you, how do you talk someone off the ledge?
Well, I really don't talk them off the ledge. We just talk about your vision and where you're going. See, what the scripture said, man without a vision perishes.
Okay.
And that's what happens. If you know where you're going, you're not going to charge them no $5,000 on a credit card just to go on a trip when you know where you're going. My client looking to retire, we've been working on this for almost 5 years now. She could have been retired a long time ago, but she didn't have the right kind of vehicle. But we've been working on this for 5 years. So she wouldn't dare go and get no $5,000 on no credit card because she knows she's going to be retiring next year. So she wouldn't dare do that. So I don't mess with the fruit. That's the fruit. I get to the root.
Right.
If I get to the root, you ain't got to worry about that fruit. You don't have to worry about my client talking about she wanna charge her $5,000. No. Now, do everybody want to live like the Joneses? Yes. Is there anything wrong with living like the Joneses? No. If the Joneses got a nice house, I want to have a nice house too. It's okay to live like the Joneses,
right.
But if you live beyond your own finances, now you're having problems. So you don't have we don't have a problem when you're clear on your vision. When you're clear on your vision, all of that stuff start falling in place. My strategy says we're not going after all of that everybody else do. That's why my strategy don't fit in the main scheme of things, because I teach my clients we have a vision. We know where we're going. And now if you cut that light bill down, or you cut that phone bill down, that still don't have no impact on our vision, because my strategy says we're going to save first. So we're going to save, we save first. Now, whatever we do with the rest of it, okay, that's what we do. But we already saved. When the guy said, hey, man, you want to save something? I've already saved. So if I got $5,000 on a credit card, I did it for convenience. I didn't do it out of necessity. I did it for convenience, because if I went to Europe, I prefer to put that $5,000 on the card so that nobody be dipping in my account if I screw up while I'm out in Europe. So once I get back from Europe, I take the cash from my account and I pay that European trip off. So
if you can pay it off, but some people don't do that
because they don't have a vision. That's the key.
So your thing is, if you have a vision, then you are focused on where you're headed, and that is basically the remedy to I wouldn't say impulse, but go on your means and trying and racking up a whole bunch of debt and going outside of your scope.
Yeah. Yeah, see, and so when you look at
So Joneses that really don't have the money to do that is not focused on their vision.
right, there you go. So when that's why you focus solely on your vision, then you don't have these money challenges. We have money challenges because we don't have a vision. The scriptures say a man without a vision perishes. That's why we broke. We're broke because we don't have a vision. Mm-hmm. We don't have a vision. We just go to work every day and we pay bills. That is not a vision. You say I pay all my bills, exactly. And then if I got some money saved, then I save some money. That's not a vision. Mm-hmm. A vision is, well, where are you going? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? All we do is we get in the car and we do joyriding. We just do joyriding. We like joyride around the city. We ain't going nowhere. We just joyride. Oh, now I'm gonna get in me a Mercedes Benz and I'm joyride. Then I'm gonna get me a Lexus and I'm gonna joyride. I'm gonna joyride with me some red bottom shoes. I'm gonna joyride with me a gold necklace. I'm gonna joyride with me with nice diamond rings. But I'm joyriding. All I'm doing is joyriding. I ain't going nowhere. But I'm just accumulating stuff. I cut costs at the Walmart. But I'm joyriding. All I'm doing is joyriding. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. So when all of those things that we're doing, it's only because we don't have a vision. And that's why we make so many bad decisions financially, because we have no vision.
Wow, that is. So, I never really about your money and your finances, like having a vision for that. I call it goals, but I mean, the word vision really it brings more clarity. I like that. Okay. And then, so you don't have to worry about keeping up with the Joneses if you stick to your vision. First of all, if you have a vision and then you stay focused on your vision.
Right.
And so what do you think about talk about the mindset? Now, sometimes I'm getting better. Sometimes I deal with negative self-talk, but I've been working on that and I'm getting better. But because we have conversations and you kind of uplift me as well. So how does those conversations go? Are you able to step in and also like work on someone's self-talk? Because I've noticed when speaking with you, I have a certain place that I want to go financially with my savings and everything, right? But I noticed speaking with you, if I don't see something, you pretty much are there. Like you're like, okay, well, you can do this. You know what I mean? And you're able to pull me in, and I end up with the conversation saying, yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, you're right. So are you, people don't realize like a money coach is it's almost like a therapist. I hate to say that, but I mean, because those conversations, you're dealing with not only their finances, where they at, their inventory, dealing with strategies to get them where they're going, but also you have to step in and deal with their headspace, their mind, and get them to actually see the vision and see that, because I was talking to last week about there's enough money for everybody to be a millionaire. So it shouldn't be no reason for us to doubt. You know what I mean?
Everybody
like,
can be a billionaire.
I can do this.
Yes, yeah.
A billionaire?
Yeah, everybody can be a billionaire.
Okay, I need to Google that because I read about a millionaire, but I didn't read about a billionaire, but I will claim it though.
Yeah, it's enough money. It's enough money there. But it's just that if God don't entrust us with more when we don't have a vision. He don't entrust us with more. Where he gives us vision, his vision is bigger than you can ever imagine. All they always talk about who want to be a millionaire. No, God did. Well, Solomon was a trillionaire. What? So, and what's the whole purpose for it anyway? What is your purpose? He said, "Wise man leaves his children's children an inheritance." That's what it's for. It's not for you. It's for your children's children. Right. So when you're staying positive about your money, when you stay positive about your money, God gives you answers. But if you're negative about your money, God can't give you no answers. And so that's why when you talk with me, I'm always positive because God gives you answers. Answers is positive. Complaining is negative. You know, complaining don't get you nowhere but where you are. It's like staying in the shower. You're just in the shower, getting wet. That's it. You know, you know. So with God, when you're positive, He gives answers because He's a God of answers. He gives you answers. He's not a God of complaints. I don't even complain to God. I don't even talk to God about my problems. He already know the problem. I need answers. So it's almost like when I'm in the room with wealthy guys or wealthy women and men. I'm in the room with wealthy women and men. And they check their money. Look, they pile of money bigger than my pile. I shut my mouth. I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah.
I need to hear you say. You know, I don't need to talk. I need to hear what you say. See, I don't need to talk to God. I need to hear what He got to say. He already know my problem. I need to know what He got to say. But what we do is we focus on our problem. Lord, let me tell you. Lord, you know I have a life bill is due. Lord, you know I ain't got no money. Yeah, I know all that. I have the answer, but you don't want to ask. You don't ask me for it. Because even with the blind man was blind, and Jesus, he came to Jesus and said, Jesus said, what would you like? What do you want? Well, Jesus can't just see the man blind. All you got to do is heal his eyes. No. He said, what do you want? You want answers. See, what we keep focusing on is we do what the world do, complain. We're like the news. You go watch the news. All they do is what? Complain. This is what happened. This is who shot John.
Bad news.
This is what happened. This is what happened here. And we in the church, we start doing the same thing. We do the same thing. We say, she's sinning. He's a gay. He's fat. She committed adultery. So we doing all that. Look at the dress you got on. You need to live right. You need to live holy. Well, hey, hold up. When Christ died, he put us in the right standard with God. Now all we got to do is hear God and give us the answers. We need answers.
Amen.
We don't need talking problems. We need answers. And that's what the world is looking for, answers. And we as Christians, we join along with them. We talking about the problem too.
Yeah.
We need answers. So when you come to me and we're talking about your finances, I'm always looking for answers. When you come to me and you say, well, Chad, like my client came to me today and she said, I need to get $500 because of such and such and such. My first brain was answers. What's the answer? I say, you got your money in your savings account. Have you been managing your money? Yeah, I've been managing my money. She said, yeah, I've been managing my money. However, I want to take it from my mutual fund instead of taking it from my savings account. And they're going to draft my savings account again in the next 5 days for the same amount. So I just need to go ahead and do that. I said, okay. I got the answers. Okay, that's what I was looking for, an answer. Now, I don't want to get a problem. Yeah, we know about the problem, but we need to know what's the answer to the problem. And so that's why whenever you're talking to me, I'm always looking for that answer. Because I don't want to be a gripe session. I never want my clients to be in a gripe session. Gripe sessions would destroy your finances. And when you look at wealthy people.
Now,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You can go ahead. I'm finished.
So how do you deal with, or I should ask you, is it normal for someone to come to you and not see their, they're working their regular job, making, let's say, $45K, looking to buy a home, they rent an apartment, looking to buy a home, but you ever talk to someone where their faith is not there? Like they're coming to you and they're saying, okay, I want to buy a home, whatever. This is my debt. This is what my funds look like. And this is the debt that I have. And this is inventory. This is what we're dealing with, and they may not have that much savings. But do you ever come across someone who come to you with that? They want to buy a house, but they just don't, it seems like they don't have the faith, and they're looking for a strategy. And it seems like, do you feel like a pull with them, or do they immediately have, I know some people immediately have faith when you're talking to them because just by how you talk, and then you give them a strategy or whatever, or you're analyzing where they're at. How do you deal with the ones that don't have the immediate faith, but they're just looking for an answer, like how to get there to their house, but you can feel like, okay, well, they're not really confident?
Well, when you're talking about faith is hearing God, believing what you heard, and responding to what you heard. Faith, that's faith. Hear, believe, obey. That's faith. Okay. Well, you have faith to believe that God wants me to have a house. I had a client last week. Yes, the Lord wants you to have a house. She came to me. She had that everybody don't talk to a down payment assistant. All the stuff was in place. We did her numbers. The amount of money she had to pay for her mortgage and the money that she had to pay back for that down payment assistance were 50% of what she earned. You never go in the house with that at 50% of what you earned. It had to be at least 30. Now that you stretch it when you say 36, but 30, okay, of what you bring home.
Okay.
You're gonna have a challenge.
Right.
Well, she's at 50. Okay. I said, now she said, well, we worked on this for some years, for all year. We've been doing it. I say, stop right there. I say, stop. You're the boss. You are the boss. Why? Because when you close this deal, everybody gonna get paid. The realtor gonna get paid, the mortgage people gonna get paid, the tax people gonna get paid, the people gave you down payment assistance gonna get paid, and then they gonna walk away. You're gonna be holding this bill for 50% of your money, gotta go and pay this bill. Now, I did that, and that's why I foreclosed my home. I could not afford it. I foreclosed my home because I could not
50% debt ratio. That's very high. Yeah.
Very, very, very high. So I'm believing in the Lord. I'm going by faith. I'm going by faith. No, you ain't going by faith. You're going by foolishness. Because see, God ain't gonna take you somewhere that He can't keep you. And your money is a telltale sign of where He's going with you. It's a telltale sign of where He's going with you. You say, well, my money ain't there, so I'm trusting the Lord. No, He telling you ain't there. Because your money telling you, He said, where your treasure is, your heart is also. If you ain't got it together financially, He's not going to put you somewhere that you ain't together financially. I believe in the Lord. I said, I have faith to believe in the Lord. And I believe in the Lord, sure enough, and they foreclosed that house. Boom, y'all out. Goodbye. Wow. But then, lo and behold, when I got it together, the Lord stepped right on in, finances all together. I was able to put my money down. I was able to use my money to help my house. So, because you buy a house, but you got to make it a home. So we had enough money to make it a home. We had a smooth transition financially. We like to spiritualize our money. Oh, the Lord's going to make a way. I ain't got but $2.50, but I'm going to be in this $1 million house. Okay. Okay. No, God don't work that way. He give you a telltale. Your indicator of where you are is where your finances are. Your indicator. How do you know where you are financially? Your indicator is how much money do you have saved. If you don't have the money saved, that's your indicator. Don't be talking about what the Lord gonna know. When He do, then you do. If He ain't done it, then you don't do nothing. Jesus said, I do nothing of myself. I only do what I see my Father do. What we try to do, we try to spiritualize it and say, well, the Lord going to make a way. If He told you, you wait on it. You get yourself together financially and wait on it. Get yourself together financially.
I don't understand, but that's how He waits. I don't understand why people don't get that. He makes a way by getting yourself together and putting your savings in place. So maybe you can put a large amount down so you won't have to have your whole paycheck going towards the mortgage. Hello. So strategy, people don't understand that strategy is a way that God moves. God will He give us intellect. Yeah, and He gives strategy. God is a God of strategy. He gave Daniel a strategy.
He gave Joseph a strategy.
Yes, exactly. God is a God of strategy.
Yeah. He has the answer.
A lot of times. So you do have to talk people off the ledge, and then when people have misplaced faith, I should say, then you get them back into reality. Like it's a balance between faith and reality.
She did, and she did get off that ledge, and she said, "No, I'm not closing this deal." She walked away. That was a hard thing. I
Yeah.
told
So,
I,
and
I told her that's a hard thing to walk away. I was there. I did not want to.
but
I
you can
saw
walk away with a plan.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but walking away is a hard thing though. When you talk about walking away, you don't spend a lot of time, especially when it comes down to the female gender. A lot of times, the female gender, and I don't like to generalize, but just in general, as
Hmm.
females, they when they invest something in it, it's almost like, oh, I got to go through with this. It's almost like a boyfriend. You don't invested all this time in him, then you don't want to let him go. Well, it's the same
Now we
thing with
got to
a
get
house.
married. Okay.
Yeah, right. And it's
Hmm.
not he's not the right one because you find out he's not the right one, but you
He's not the
ignore
right
that
one. Yeah.
because you don't put so much investment in it. You ignored all of the things that tell you no, you need to leave him alone. Well, it's the same thing with investing, and it's
Yeah.
the same thing with finance. When you invest in it, you got to hear God. You can't go on, oh, I don't invest in all this
Hmm.
time. Well, investing all that time is what God did to make you who you are. That doesn't mean that you have to follow through with that.
Right.
That person was a
Right.
good person to help you identify that's not the person you're supposed to be with, or help you identify that's not the house you're
Hmm.
supposed to have. So I identified with
Right.
all of those things with my house, my first house, all the things that I learned with my first house. When I got to my second house, when I built it, I had all the tools that I needed to have from the first house.
Hmm.
But
Right.
it wasn't for me to have that first house. It was for me to go through the process with that first house.
To
My
learn. Yeah.
There you go.
Hmm. Yeah. And sometimes we have, like you said, the ones that had walked away from that deal. Sometimes God will let you know, okay, well, this is not the right deal. And let's go back and look at your investment. Sometimes delay does not mean denied. So sometimes you have to step back and have a delay, and you may rack up more of a down payment, and a better deal may come down the road. So yeah, so we just have to be led by the Lord and not, it's not the other way around. We're not leading him. He's leading us. So sometimes we have to be led by the Lord and understand that our faith comes from him and go by his direction. Because I'm finding, even me, my personal life, I'm finding, okay, I just need to wait, ride it out, put back your money and ride it out. Don't jump into nothing right now, especially in this market. So wait, because the market might be in a sweet spot in a couple more years. So just wait. Be racking up your money right now and wait on God.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So how let me ask you this. Now, is it also a challenge for you dealing with your clients? Some clients that because we talked about expressing gratitude, right? Being grateful for what God has done, right? And a lot of times when we express gratitude, God has a sweet spot with him. He'll give us more once we thank him. But some people are not happy and because they have certain goals and they just have that temperament where they can't sit on stuff and they can't work towards their goals. Like they see their vision and they're just such in a hot seat to get there that they can't they have, what I mean? They have no long suffering, like they can't ride out. And so how can we do a better job of being content where we at? You know what I mean? In our financial situation while working towards our vision,
Well,
because I don't want to generalize women, but we have a thing about shopping and vacation. And I know you said, once you focus on your vision, that helps. And it probably does help, but it's something about us women is that it gets us off and then we don't want to keep focused and be content where we are while we're working on this. You know what I mean? And if we just master, I think we all do with our finances. So
yeah.
what was your experience like with some clients that had those kind of temperance kind of problem? You just had to coach them and teach them how to be content where they are right now while they're working towards this?
Well, contentment comes whereas you are doing everything that you shopping, you're going on vacations, you are paying your bills, you're doing all those things, but you're doing them on a smaller scale. That's where contentment comes. When you are pining away and waiting on that ship to come in, and by the time you get to the ship, you dead, so you never enjoy it. Paul said, I've been abounding and I've been abased, but I learned to be content. My strategy is about being financially healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy means that you can continue to do everything you want to do. Now, let's just say if I wanted to, my vacation money takes me to Daytona. I'm in Orlando. That's the far as I can go with my vacation money. But I want to go to Aruba. So because I want to go to Aruba, I'm going to delay my vacation in Daytona so that I can save up to go to Aruba. But so I'm not jeopardizing myself and keeping myself from going on vacation. It's just that I want to get a bigger vacation. Okay. It's the same thing with my clothes. Right. I can go shopping with my play money. I can go shopping. Well, I want to get that nice dress, that Versace dress I want to get. But Walmart got this dress on for $50, but that Versace gonna cost me about $500. So I'm gonna wait on the Versace dress. I'm gonna get the Versace. So I'm gonna have to wait on it. And that's the excitement of the strategy, is that not saying that you can't. It's like I'm waiting for a bigger payday than just this payday. You know, right. So it's just like your house. You say, okay, I'm waiting for a bigger down payment than just a down payment. You know, so because my strategy is always moving forward. We constantly, if we're walking, we're riding the bicycle, riding the car, driving the car, or flying a plane. We are moving. We're constantly moving toward that goal. So that helps you. So
Amen.
It helps so that you don't have to be worrying about, oh man, I'm spending too much money here. I'm spending. No, you should be taking care of yourself. You should be going on vacations. You should do that. That's something you should do.
So, but you said something earlier about on a lesser scale, though, until you get to your destination. So I believe I can find comfort in that. I think that would help me in knowing that I can still enjoy myself and have my little spending money over here. This is my little account, but on a smaller scale, because I know that I'm putting back for this for a later payday. So it helps knowing that I'm not going to completely. Now, I guess depending on, they probably do have to cut that one out, but me, I don't have to cut it completely out. It's just be on a smaller scale.
Exactly.
Or is anyway. Like you said, in Daytona instead of all out somewhere. So I believe I can deal with that. That'll help. Okay. So now, how you feel about money affirmations? How you feel about that? I mean, I have not heard that. I'm starting to do that, and I feel much better. I believe it's going to come back in the atmosphere, but because I noticed a lot of people with the teaching and the daily confessions. One day, it's just the light bulb just turned on. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start speaking over my money, like I speak over everything else. So I'm start speaking over my money, and I'm getting my scriptures together. So how do you feel about that? Now, is that too much, or do we need it? Because I think I'm using every tool, okay? But as part of my faith walk, I think I need to include my money too. But how do you feel about that? Is that too much, or do you just focus strictly on the matter of fact?
Well, when you confession, what confession does, there's two things that happen with confession. Scriptures say, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That means you believe that, and your mouth is saying that. Then there's times that your heart don't believe it, but your mouth is saying it enough so that your heart can catch up and believe that. See, you can't receive until you believe. It's not, I can say all day long whatever I want, but I don't believe it in my heart, it don't happen. because Jesus said, I could do no healing because of their unbelief, not because they didn't have faith. He said unbelief. Well, our confession helps us to believe that what we have. If you don't believe it in your heart, keep confessing it with your mouth, then your head keep hearing that, and then all of a sudden you begin to believe it in your heart. And then there's time that you believe in your heart, and it comes strictly out of your mouth. See, that's so your mouth and your heart work together. Your mouth and your heart works together. Now, if your heart is not believing it, well, you better start confessing it.
Right.
Yeah, your heart ain't believing it. You know that bell go off, be like, boom. Yeah, that means you believe now. Yeah, so your mouth keeps saying it. That's why they call him Abraham. Abraham means father of many nations. Yeah. Every time you call that man name, he heard father of many nations. Well, he said, it's true, man. How am I have a baby and I'm 75 years old? But he kept hearing Abraham.
Every time you call his name, he prophesying.
Right. And then all of a sudden, he began to believe it in his heart. Once he believed it in his heart, now God can give it to him. See, he can't give you nothing if you don't believe it in that heart. I can say all day long, confession, and I ain't believing it. That's why Peter said, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. Why? Yes. I ain't got it in the heart yet. Yeah, I believe you can do that, Lord, but I don't have that in my heart yet. Lord, I believe you can do that, but I don't have that in my heart yet. That's what Peter was saying. He said, I don't have it in my heart yet, but I believe you can do that, God. But see, so you keep confessing it. So there's nothing wrong with confession. Confession is good. Old folks say confession is good for the soul. Yeah, they understood that. If you keep confessing something, look at our former president. He confessed a whole bunch of crap, crazy stuff, and people believe it. Why they believe it? Because you keep hearing it. You keep hearing it, you begin to believe it in the heart, and then you're gonna be starting.
Yeah, they say you tell a lie over and over, people believe it.
That's right. And when you believe it in the heart, then you start acting it out. That's why I say faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. As you keep hearing it, now you're going to believe it in the heart, then you're going to start acting it out. That's what faith is. Faith is acting it out. See, if faith ain't believing it in the heart, but it's acting it out what you believe. So you keep hearing it, you believe it, then you're going to act it out. So you say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. You keep confessing that. One day that thing going to come on and say, bing. You remember Shirley Caesar said, when she was outside playing church, and she was playing, and then all of a sudden she felt that she's like, oh, she started crying and she was going in.
Okay.
And her mama said, she ain't playing now. See, when that light bulb go on, that belief shows up. Can't nobody change it. Can't nobody turn you. Once you believe it, can't nobody turn you. So you have to, if you don't believe it in the heart yet, keep confessing it. Keep confessing it. Keep confessing it. Eventually, one day, you're going to believe it in the heart. And when you believe it in the heart, now you're going to start acting it out.
Right. Well, I thank you, Coach. We're having our Faith and Finance Conference in February next year, February the 4th, 2023. And we're having our first session with Dr. Demetria Williams and her husband, Pastor Jeffrey Williams. They're going to do a panel discussion on faith and finance, and then we're going to break for lunch. And then the second session is going to be by the money coach, Chad McKendrick, and he's going to do his special presentation. And I want you all to come out and join us. You can register for free on TemiaBrinson.com. Again, that's TemiaBrinson.com. And please register, because we just want to know a number. We need a count to prepare for lunch. We need to know how many to prepare for. So again, go ahead and register for free at TemiaBrinson.com. And that's next year, February the 4th, 2023. And Coach Chad, for your clients, what do you do? Because I want to ask, well, I know what you do, because full disclosure, I am one of your clients, and but I teach people, how to pay down your debt, right? How to work on your credit, do your budget, get everything all prepared, right? This is what I teach, but I'm not a financial advisor. So I tell them, write down your goals, rank your goals, and then take that to a professional, a licensed financial advisor. And because at that point, you have an ally, right? recruit others. I believe in recruiting professionals, right? Outside help to help you with your financial goals. So if they take my advice, write down the information, the income, expenses, do a little budget, whatever, and then write down their goals. They come to you with that. What do you do with that information?
Then we place my strategy on it, or where they got to go. With my strategy from my book, I put the strategy on them, say, okay, you know where you are, but now let's put the strategy on it so we can get there. Because everybody always tell you what to do, nobody tell you how to do it. So you told them what to do. What my job is to do is show you how to actually get that accomplished. One of the major functions that I'm really an advocate for is the saving your money. I always say you save money so money can save you. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. You got to save money because, see, nobody else is going to save you, because we found that out with the pandemic. Your job couldn't save you during the pandemic. The job said, well, we ain't got no job to take you to, and we ain't got no money to give you. So now you ain't lose a job, but you're not getting no money from us. So now what? The credit card company said, well, we're not extending you no more credit because you ain't got no income coming in. So we're not extending you no more credit. So now what? See, so nobody coming to your rescue. That's why my book is called Living Beyond Your Paycheck. You can't live check to check. You got to live beyond your check. You got to live beyond your check.
All right. So you just go through the information, and then depending on the goals, you map out a strategy together and work towards how you can reach those goals, right? And then, so are you more, I know the answer, but I just want to ask for the audience. So are you more of a leading you to the water type coach, or are you a collaborative type coach?
Lead you to the water. I just give you a roadmap to the water. I give you a roadmap to the water. Now you got to make a decision about what you're going to do about the map that I just gave you. Now, I won't get involved in your day to day because, see, that's between you and God. And one of my things that I like to do is create disciples. What is a disciple? Someone that learns how to hear God. That's a disciple, someone that learns how to hear God. So you can't learn how to hear God by hearing me. So you can't, every step of the way, I can't tell you every step of the way, because now I become your God. No. He's your God. You need to go to him. I gave you a roadmap of where to go. Now, the more meticulous things that you need to do in your everyday household, you need to go to him. He said, in all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he'll direct your path. And so that's what I try. That's what I try to do for my clients. Did I answer your question?
And the reason I asked that, collaborative versus leading to the water, because some people have, I wouldn't say, how should I say? I'm not going to say crazy ideas. I'm not going to say unorthodox ideas. I'm going to say different ideas of how they want to get there. And how do you deal with that? Like knowing that there's certain roadmaps that that work, right? And then you have a client, well, what about this? And then this. Well, are you sure? Is this the best way? And because they heard somebody on the internet or they read something, and like annuities, they may have different understanding of how they work for them.
Well, what I try to do is you have to trust the person that is leading you. You can't be led by everybody. You can't be going and say, oh, I heard this and I heard this and I heard this and I heard this. And you're picking up all these different things that you heard and you're not going nowhere. You got to be able to, it's just like you have a church and you have a pastor. Your pastor has the primary guard over your heart and share with you of the direction of where God wants you to go. But that's a particular church that you go to. You have a particular doctor you go to. Yes, you got all these kind of things, but I got to go to Dr. Q and say, hey, Dr. Q, I heard this. What did your take on it? He said this. I was like, okay, thank you. But I go to him and he vets whatever I get from out there to help me to follow where he's going. Well, that's what your money coach is supposed to be. That you found it off your money coach. They vet it, and then you got to make a decision. Okay, I'm gonna follow. Now you can't be hard headed. If you're gonna be hard headed and do your own thing, then do your own thing.
Okay, but you are open to if somebody wants to bounce ideas off of you, right? And then you at that point you step in with the education. That's
right. Exactly. Okay. I'm gonna educate you. Like somebody come to me and they start talking about Bitcoin. We talking about the Bitcoin. I say, okay, let's start right now. What is our vision and our goal? Well, we got to save $1,000 and we got to save 6 months of our income and we got to get to buy the house. I say, will Bitcoin do all of that for you? No, not at this time. Well, should you be considering that right now? No. Okay. All right. Now, they can go out and do it on their own, but I always remind them of what the vision is. Remind them because most people don't get that basic thing there. $1,000 in your saving, 6 months of your income tucked away. That's before you even start talking about what your vision and your goal is. You know, but most people don't even have that yet. And they start talking about, I want to invest in this and I want to do short and I want to do puts and I want to do calls and I want wait, you got $1,000 saved? No. You got 6 months of your income tucked away? No. Well, what are we talking about that for? There's no time to talk about that yet. There's a time in the season for everything.
Yeah, for everything. Yeah. So you get your strategies for safe ways of growing your money. Get that down first. And then you may have in your budget a certain amount of money that you're allowed to take a higher risk after you get those safe ways of growing your money in place.
Right. Yeah. Get those things in order. That's one thing that we haven't done in the middle-class families. 80% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. And they steady out there trying to see what's the fastest way of making money. They want to hit the lottery. They looking to get a better job. They looking all these things, but it's still 80% of our people are still living check to check. How is it still 80%? It's only because of the money decisions they make. I sit on the board now. I was just elected to sit on the board for the state of Florida. I'm on the working board for because the governor said that he wanted the criteria for high school students to be financially literate. And so I sit on the board of financial literacy now. And
yes, congratulations. Wow, that's huge.
And I the reason I'm there is that I want to be a voice of reason, a voice of reason, not just keep coming up with all these different plans and stuff and these approaches. And our people still, 80% of the people still living check to check, no matter how much information that they know, because they're not going anywhere. So I think that it's an honor for me to sit on the board, and I want to be a voice to our people. So we don't just get information. You know, knowledge is just knowledge. Wisdom is applied knowledge.
Exactly.
We need to know how to apply the knowledge, not just get all this information, but how do you apply it? He said, with all that get understanding.
Get understanding.
Understanding, knowing, that means you know how to apply what you just got. And that's what I wanted to bring to the table for our youth in high school. I want to bring that to the table, how to apply that. You know, so it's
wow, that's awesome.
It's a wonderful thing. But that's what I want to do for all of my clients. That's what I've been called to do. I've been called to help families become financially healthy. I might not be the Bitcoin guy, the gold man, all that calls and puts. I know all that stuff? Yes. But I stay in my lane. My lane is to get my people built up so that they can do all those things.
I mean, we got to get the basics first. Let's get that foundation.
Yes.
We don't want a house on the sinking sand. We want a house on a strong foundation.
That's right. That's right, Temia. All right, that's me. That's me.
I get that. I get inboxes and DMs. Well, what about this? What do you think about investing in this? First of all, I'm not a licensed broker. I can't tell you that. I can tell you how to research stocks, but I can't tell you that. But I mean, a lot of people want to know about that, and they want to know about Bitcoin and Forex. They want to know about that too. But then don't have a good savings plan. Like you're not doing the basics first. Get that together first.
Get that together first. You're right. That's right. Get that first.
Mhm,
Once we got that, now we can start just looking at other stuff. You get that first.
mhm.
My son graduating with his master's degree this December. He already got 6 months of his income saved already. He
All right.
working now, and he already got 6 months of his income saved. My daughter, she's almost there,
Wow.
got 6 months of her income saved. So I'm starting them out that way so that when they start going out there and dibbling and dabbling in different stocks and investments and things of that sort, they got their house
Mhm.
taken care of. They got a good foundation. They have a
Yeah.
good foundation, and that's what my heart is for everybody that I service. Everybody that I serve, I want to make sure that they have a good foundation before they begin to do all of those great things that they want to do in their life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well,
Mhm.
Coach Chad, I thank you for coming on today. This has been a real enlightenment because a lot of people don't think that they need a financial advisor, but they do. Or a money coach, they do. Because, and again, I mean, why should we do this by ourselves when we have professionals who can help us along our journey? Like, I don't understand that. So, and but I thank you for being available. And how do people reach you? They want your services.
They can reach me at livingbeyondyourpaycheck.com, or they can Google my name, Chad McKendrick. If you Google my name, Chad McKendrick, everything about me show up. So if you want to reach out to me, you can get me. All you got to do is Google my name, Chad McKendrick, and you got me.
All right, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, you guys stay tuned. We're here. We're going to be brings to you every week. We're on every Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And then also, if you want to see it later, it'll come up on Kingdom Purpose TV. If you're on Apple TV, Roku, Google, Fire Stick, then you search for Kingdom Purpose TV. You save that channel, and then we're on every Monday night at 9 p.m. Okay? But until then, you guys be blessed.